Do you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. I don't know how much you heard, but I will start from the beginning. My name is Irena Georgievska, and I would like to welcome you all at this first Info event dedicated to OT Challenge 2, Action for Climate Positive Change. This is the second future event challenge, which is related to environmental issues. The first O2 challenge was organized 3 years ago, and it was targeting the pollution in urban areas, while this one is
Irena, na mute si.
Now do you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now? I don't know how do I go to mute all the time, but okay. This challenge that we are organizing, and this is the first Info event now that we are organizing regarding the climate change. We had one 2 years ago, and this one was targeting the pollution in urban areas. This one is targeting the problems with rapid climate change, which was especially evident in the past decades in the world, and this region as well affected as the whole world is. The whole event today is divided in 2 parts. The first one will be informative, and it will be about the challenge itself, while the second one will be a presentation of motivational speakers, startups and SMEs that have successful projects that are related to the subject of climate change, domestic and international companies, which we wanted to present to you. Of course, you can ask the questions in the meantime and write it down on chat. There is specific time after each of the blocks, of the 2 blocks, dedicated for questions and answers as well. So you will have the opportunity. The focus is now that we respond to your questions related to the call itself, to dedicate it to be an info session, but also to present some positive and successful examples of startups working in this area. For the beginning, I wouldn't like to take too much time. I would like to give the word to our funds director, Mr. Jovan Despotovski, who will give his opening remarks. And immediately after that, the word will go to Mr. Dan Orian, ambassador of Israel in Republic of North Macedonia and director of the Western Balkan countries at the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He will talk to us a little bit about the importance of innovation and startups in the climate change, successful examples, and specifically cooperation between the fund and in Israeli embassy. So, Jovan Despotovski, the director of the fund.
Irena, благодарам. Thank you all for joining us today at today's session, along with our partners and friends, also from Israel. Greetings to Ambassador Dan Orian, who I think has already joined us. Thank you also for taking part into this. We have been long discussing about We have been long discussing about the possibility to organize such a call. Finally, unfortunately, it was before the pandemics. We succeeded to bring together different stakeholders from Israel, but also from Macedonia, in organizing such a regional challenge. I would like to point out that the Israeli support is very important, having in mind that the fund has dared, I would say, to organize a call where, for the first time in the region, we have also checked with other agencies and state authorities from the Western Balkans. But this is one of the rare occasions where a state authority from one of the countries is actually open up programs for participation from companies and organizations from other countries from the Western Balkan 6. This is very important from the perspective of another initiative that is related to creating a common economic area, I would say, for the Western Balkan 6 region, which is part of a much more important European integration process, where the Innovation Fund from Macedonia has already initiated establishment of regional innovation initiatives. So the O22 challenge will actually have a dual purpose. One purpose will be, of course, to mobilize ideas coming from, hopefully, and mainly from young people from Macedonia and from the region, to present different solutions to the climate change issues, which can be very practical. And the second will be, of course, to test pilot the possibility to have, particularly within one consortium, cooperation established between Macedonian and companies and organizations coming from other Western Balkan 6 countries. So I would challenge also all the potential applicants, the people that are following this event, to try and seek and find a partner coming from some of the other Western Balkan 6 countries, and also to utilize on the support that is provided by our partners here, particularly from the State of Israel, but also from Macedonia 2025, sorry, to get that support and to prepare as better as possible project applications. As you all know, we have extended the deadline for, actually we have renewed the call from the very beginning due to the interest, actually, on our side, to have the possibility to communicate the O22 challenges as broad as possible. Unfortunately, once the call was started initially, the C-19 pandemics occurred. I hope now with the renewed deadline that we can expect many and good quality applications. What I can also say is that use this opportunity, but you can also ask questions, and you can also use in the next weeks the possibility to work with some of our technical partners to get the needed mentorship. Irena, I would not go much into details on this, because I think that I see Bana has already started to share some of his presentations. I would just leave the floor to other of our guest welcoming speakers, and yeah, of course, and then to move on to the subject of today's discussion.
If we have the ambassador now on the line, he's after Jovan before the info session. So I would like to call him, if he has joined us, to tell a few words. Yair?
The ambassador is here. Maybe.
Okay. Can we hear him?
We are not in the same place and not in the same city, but let me see. דן, שומע? דן, אתה על מיוט.
Горе, што е службен вестник на Република Македонија, број 43.
Тој не е само тој. because we are starting later with this block of presentation, which will be dedicated on the call. So it would be good if we can hear him now. If not, maybe he can join us later.
Irena,
Yes.
we have a technical problem. The ambassador, we can unmute him, so please proceed and he will join us in a few minutes, okay? Let's start, let's go on and he will join us, okay?
Irena Paxi muted.
Then maybe we can start with the presentation of the call banner. And then when we get to the mentoring part, then Yair and the ambassador can join us together there and say a few words.
Sure.
Please start, Bana. Branislav.
Okay. Okay. Greetings to everyone participant in this call. Greetings to our partner organization, Macedonia 2025. Dear participants, I'll try to be short, to have short presentation in order to have much time to have Q&A session. So the first point of this presentation is the goals of, or what kind of solutions are we looking for. Goal of the challenge is to boost the innovation by providing financial activities that contribute to reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, or enhancing resilience to climate change in one of the following areas, either at national or regional level. So in this presentation, we defined a few areas which these applications can be applicable, but this list of areas is not exhaustive. So energy, industry, transportation, agriculture, forestry, healthcare, water resources, or disaster risk reduction are areas which competitors should be focused on, applicate their projects. What type of project do we support? The solutions can target the few phases of the climate change problem solving process. So reducing the greenhouse gas emissions by introducing new process, services, products, or methodologies that will encourage change of the citizens' daily habits, or project designed to adapt to changed climate conditions. So upon this instrument this instrument with a relevant project for commercialization, with activities eligible for funding as research and development activities, testing activities, development related services, market functionality of solutions, and also design of final products. Who can apply? When we talk about competitor eligibility criteria, this call is intended for micro, small, and medium enterprises that want to develop an innovative product, service, or process on their own, or in a consortium or partnership with some other company. Instead of this call of this instrument, project proposals may be submitted by a single competitor or by a consortium, as I said, led by a leading competitor. when applying in partnership or consortium, the lead competitor shall be considered as project leader. So regional character or introducing this this new moment for in our calls are including countries from the region of the Western Balkan, as Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Albania. As I said, this call is intended for micro, small, and medium enterprises, and basically the competitors shall be legal entities that meets requirements upon law on trade companies and registered in the central register in the Republic of North Macedonia as micro, small, or medium enterprises. Evaluation of the these are 5 criteria with which competitors should meet to be. Just a second. These are 5 criteria that every competitor should meet. Innovation, environment, impact of the environment, quality of the project, and market potential and capacity of the project team are 5 main criteria that each competitor should meet. Each of criteria brings their own points, in which market potential and environmental impact brings most of the evaluation points. I think market potential and environmental impact brings around 30 points from total evaluation points. Awarded funds, total budget for financing of these projects are 5 million dinars, which in which Fund for Innovation and Technology Development contribute up to 85% of the total project budget, but that amount can exceed 30,000 euros. The applicant should cover 50% of the total project budget. So these co-financed grants are pretty similar to our existing instruments, especially startup instrument. In this public call, we have and also special awards. Each award brings from our partner organization. So one of the award is study trip to Israel, which is provided by Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Kayama Center for Innovation in Design in Israel. It consists with study, as I said, it consists with study trip to Israel and mentorship and tailor-made mentoring program. Another one is for team that would enter in the selection phase, partnership agreement for future mentoring or consultations, but as beneficiary needs. And the third award is provided by our partner Macedonia 2025. The choice and final decision for company that would take the special award would be made by the So projects that will be compete can't exceed 12 months period of implementation. So be careful when you design your project application and your budgets. They shouldn't exceed 12 months period of implementation. This public call is open from 2nd of June and is open until 20 of June next month. How to apply? Completed forms together with all accompanying documents. You should submit in electronic form through the funds system as this bolded link said, www.fitr.mk/Предизвик and deadline is 20 of June until end of the day, basically. If you have any additional information in which refers to this call about completing your project application or you have technical assistance or you need technical assistance in terms of creating your investment plan and budget and designing your budget, you can write to us at o2predizvik@fitr.mk. That's basically official mail for this public call, or you can call us anytime on FITRA number. I will stop right here because next one is presentation from our partners from UNDP. So I will stop here with this presentation, and Irena, please.
Yes, I would like to invite here now Snezhana from UNDP to give us her presentation briefly, and then we will continue with the other partners. Snezhana, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day to all of you. It's a great pleasure to be here today with His Excellency the Ambassador of Israel to the Republic of North Macedonia, Ms. Den Orion, and also the Director of the Fund for Innovation and Technological Development, Mr. Jovan Despotovsky. Many thanks to all participants today for attending this event. Very briefly, on behalf of UNDP, United Nations Development Program, I will present some additional opportunities that are available under this challenge, and as partner to this challenge, what are the offers that we are presenting. I would ask for Bane to go through the presentation that is to follow. Bane, can you hear us? Can you start with the presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So very briefly, as you all know, the world around us changes, be that due to the changes in the value, the social shift, or the technology innovation that is happening. So the educational landscape needs to change in response to these shifts that are happening in the world. Yes. While trying to understand the infrastructural and resource changes in the world, including those happening in the world of jobs and businesses, there is also a need to seek for solutions that address the skill gaps that are emerging due to the new technologies and the challenges that are faced by the world. The current pace of challenges that are happening now are requiring to follow the direction of skill-based occupation rather than degree-based labor market, which is more dynamic variably. Having said so, in that context, significant opportunities are available to those organizations that are agile enough to adjust their infrastructure, their products, their service portfolio, or their route to the markets if adequately are supported by the specialized workforce capable to embrace new technologies and digitalization. Having said so, let me briefly inform you about the additional opportunities available under this challenge. In case you need professional and trained staff who would immediately involved in the work processes, there is a great opportunity for qualified workforce as per your specific need of your business or proposed solution under this challenge. Adapted training program can be developed according to your needs, and while you train workforce, they will receive a monthly compensation while on training, and the training period can be up to 4 months. All potential future employers, regardless of the outcome of the evaluation of the project proposal under this challenge, can take the advantage of this opportunity and based on the tailor-made training, secure skilled and qualified workforce for their businesses. The only precondition when applying for this opportunity is for the qualifying and making skilled workforce is that the candidates for the training need to be unemployed people registered under the Employment Service Agency of Republic of North Macedonia. Once the training is completed, the potential employers need to employ at least 50% of the successful candidates, so successful trainees, for a period of up to 9 months, not reducing the number of full-time employees previously employed for the same period of 6 months. UNDP will support all interested applicants in the opportunity presented and available till the end of this year. Actually, the deadline for using this opportunity is 31st of December 2020. For more details, you can always reach us on the contact details that are on the next slide, Vane. And of course, if you have any question, we will be more than willing to answer in the question and answer session. At the end, let me thank you for your attention and wish you good luck along the process. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Irena? Irena, are we continuing with the presentation, or if any question I can...
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I would like to now take off the presentation if it is possible and to give the word to the ambassador to tell us a few words about the importance of innovation, and also after him for our partners, Sir Jair Engel and also Ms. Nikica Moisova-Blaževska, to give us a few words about their participation in this challenge and their expectations. Please, the ambassador, then Orion.
Thank you. Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Though we were hoping really to be in Macedonia, in the Republic of North Macedonia, for this project, but we do what we can. So first of all, I want to give a big thank you for Jair Engel from the KMS Center. He's doing wonders in the last few months since we had to change all the plans. And of course, to our partners in Macedonia, the Fund of Innovation, which is a fund which we are working with already for quite a few years, led now by Jovan, which is a close friend, and wonderful partners from Macedonia 2025. Nikita, I saw you on the screen before. It's wonderful to work together again. I'm sure we can do wonders later. And of course, it's wonderful to have such wonderful partners with us today. Is also Dr. Rachel Vidrumer from Bar Ilan. She's with us. She's not part of this challenge, but she's part of many other things. You can see to the left of me a little picture that will remind you the first hackathon we had in Macedonia, the Betalon, where we had hundreds of youngsters looking for how to use innovation to tell the Jewish story of the past. So we're trying to be also those on innovation and on heritage, and sometimes at the same time. So this challenge is, of course, very important for us and for you, not just because of the topics, which is, of course, a crucial one, but I really hope that we will succeed to create these partnerships which will lead us to not just a better world, but also for a better positioning of the Republic of North Macedonia towards entering the European Union. Our partnership, as you know, is not something new in innovation. I spoke about the Jewish issues, but since then, in the last 4 years, we had quite a few delegations. I see that joining us is also Michael Mizrahi from A2B Accelerator in Jerusalem, which is one of the partners both to this one and to many others in the past. We had experts coming to courses of Mashab, of how to create and run accelerators, and in many, many other courses. I hope we'll be able to renew next year the courses of Mashab. Of course, we had 25 winners from the hackathon we had coming to Israel for Startup Nation, and I'm sure that the team that will come to Israel will find very relevant things in Israel. So Israel has a lot to offer, both in innovation and in many other topics. But no doubt now everybody's looking at the corona, at what we can do in innovation and everything that has to do with corona. So we have quite a lot of things in this respect. I will not talk about them today, but certainly we have a lot to offer in many other fields. I really hope that we will have partnerships coming out from this effort today. And I'm happy that we have a big variety of partners and mentors from Israel, not just from universities, not just startupists, but also people leading already successful companies which have a lot of experience in the field. One of the speakers today, Dr. Yuval Gilad from Friesen, he's the founder and CEO. I really appreciate his effort, and I think you will find him something of really exciting and special project that a lot can be learned from. So I'm excited to be here when this project is starting, and I hope that this is a beginning of much wider partnership. Again, I want to use this moment to congratulate you for the nice participation. I hope that it's really only the beginning, and I'm really happy to tell you that one of the things we are considering now is to have 1 or 2 of our leading startups doing special trial or first attempt of putting devices of their startups in Macedonia. I believe that doing such things will make a difference. I believe that our partnership matters, and I think that we can do a lot more in getting both your qualities, which we saw a lot of them also in the visit in Israel, into a very meaningful partnership. And I wish again to say thank you to Yair Engel for the wonderful work. I'm sure we're going to have amazing partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well. We are hoping, of course, that this partnership will end up with even better mutual cooperation and many companies connected and working together. Looking forward to it very much. Now, I would like Yair to enter and to tell us a bit more about what is expected in the next period regarding the mentoring sessions. And immediately after him, Nikita Moiseska for Macedonia 2025 to continue with their expectations and their mentors. Please do.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello to everybody from Tel Aviv. My name is Yair Engel, as you already heard, and I'm very happy to be here. I would be very happy to be in Skopje as we planned, and unfortunately, Corona made big changes for all of us. So basically, through our cooperation with the Innovation Fund and with Macedonia 2025, hello Nikita, I saw you somewhere in the audience, and with many partners and friends already from Macedonia, we had this idea. It started with the hackathon, and then it converted into a mentorship workshop that was supposed to take place on March 14-15 in Skopje. And now we are trying to adopt the new post, I hope, Corona, and do it online. So the idea is that it's not the same, but we will do our best to keep this going on. And thank you for all the partners and the fund for the cooperation. Our idea was to make a stronger connection between Israel and Macedonia. We think that we have lots of things in common. We had few visits in Macedonia and from Macedonia in Israel. I'm working closely with the ambassador for a few years especially on innovation and especially on sustainability and circular economy that are my topics. And what the plan is that we have a list of great mentors. Actually, part of them are here. They were not supposed, they don't need to hear all the details, but they joined us, and I'm happy you can see Dr. Rachel Shelley Dromer in the audience, and Michael Mizrahi also. And of course, you will hear Dr. Yuval Gilad from FreeZem. He will be one of the inspirational speakers, and he's also one of the mentors. But we have a nice list of mentors from companies, from startups, from academies. All these people you will be able to speak with them if you apply to the O2 Challenge 2. And then you have to make a short video, and of course accepted by the fund. And with this video, we can analyze who can be the best mentor to have a meeting with you. And then we will make kind of a tailor-made meetings with the mentors through the next 2 weeks or so before the last date, the deadline of the application. And I hope that we can find and match all the startups that would like to do that and find cooperation with the right mentors. If you don't find the right mentors, you can always call me or write me. You can always have my details through Irena, and thank you for the long work together. And we hope to do this together. I think that we also would like to express that it's not we are just coming to help or to assist. We would like to have this cooperation. I think that there are lots of companies and startups from Israel that already are looking for partnerships in Macedonia, and maybe they can gather together for having pilots even in this uncertain time and problematic time. So that is the main thing, and thank you. Any questions? So we can always answer, open for answers.
Sure. Before Nikita continues, let me just emphasize that all your questions, you can ask them on the chat or in the session after we finish. But of course, you are free to do it all the time in the chat, and then I will transfer your questions to whoever are they dedicated. Nikita, the word is yours. Please tell us a few things.
Dobar den, Sita. I would like to welcome you all on this call. I must say that personally, but also on behalf of Macedonia 2025, I'm really delighted and I would like to thank the Fund for Innovation and Technological Development and the partners for organizing this very important event, which really is on topic that affects the lives of all of us. So thank you for the fund. Thank you also for the Israel embassy or ambassador, or Israel as a country. We've discussed this opportunity from, I think, October last year to organize a hackathon with Yair as well, with the ambassador. Then it changed into challenge, but I'm happy that we are finally here, especially in these difficult times for each one of us. But it's very important that we show leadership, strong leadership at these difficult times. A few words about Macedonia 2025. It's an organization that supports economic growth with an aim to improve the living standard of Macedonians. How we achieve that? We implement an array of programs, and these programs really aim to help businesses to grow and to become more competitive in international environment. We provide support to companies which are from startups, micro companies, but also going to SMEs and large companies. By doing that, we are actually trying in all of these programs to use the capacity of diaspora, professional diaspora, certainly. As I said, we are happy to be part of this challenge. We are here to support, to assist, but also to hear and see many great projects. And as I said, we expect that these projects will have real impact on our lives. I would add that within our organization, we have few bodies. One of the most distinguished bodies is the what we call Kellogg Alumni Club. So this is a club of CEOs, top CEOs from Macedonia, who've been practicing executive training at the Kellogg School of Management in the States. And this great body of CEOs offer their support to be mentors within this program. So I'm happy to have here a few of them already on the call. Thank you all for accepting this, and I hope that you will really give great insights and advice to the startups. I would also like to thank one of our board members who is on the call, who will be inspirational speaker. It's Michael Matevsky. Thank you, Michael, as well for attending here and for accepting the offer. So without further ado, really, again, thanks everyone to be here, and really hope to see real impact on our lives and climate and the environment.
Okay, thank you very much, Nikita. Now we are finishing this informative, let's say, block information about the call itself. There are, first, before I go to the questions, I would like to emphasize once again the regional character of this call. This is the first call of the fund which is open regionally. What does it mean? This means that the lead partner should be from Macedonia. It's a startup or SME from our country, but then as a partner in the consortium or just a partnership, any company or NGO or a scientific institution can enter the call and participate in it from the region, from the countries of the Balkan region, can participate and enter the call in partnership or in consortia. Also about the mentoring that is forthcoming is that the mentorship, everyone that will download the documents that are related to this call will receive, that will happen in the following week now, will receive information about how to apply for the mentoring session and the mentoring session themselves, which are partnership, as Nikita and Yair told us, with Israel and Macedonia 2025 will happen in the following week. Now, we have already questions that are asked here. The question is to Branislav Markovski. Bane, are you here, still here? I can't hear you. Please unmute. The question is if the consortia has to be between companies and institutions, or the company can have only experts, engineers, and professors as physical persons. Vane? I can't hear you. Okay, before he enters, I will try to give response to this question because I can't hear him and he's on mute. So the consortia can be, as a lead partner, the company has to be SME, which is registered according to Macedonian law for trading companies. But of course, the company can provide experts and engineers to work as part of the budget. It is, Bane, can you hear me now? Branislav? Unmute, unmute, unmute. We cannot hear you. Talking.
Yeah, I have difficulties with internet connection.
Okay, good. We are hearing you right now.
I'm here now.
So there was a question if the consortia has to be only between firms and institutions, or the firm can have just experts or engineers as a physical persons. About the consortia, how can it be consist of which companies? I already,
the first consortium can consist of two companies or company as a leading partner of the project, and another company which is a partner in consortia or science or some science institution. But and in the project budget form, you can see there is a few sheets which refers to partner, and one of it refers to consortium member. But also no part of the consortium, one partner can be budgeted in budget for leading partner in leading partner budget form, can consist with know-how, with consultancy services, can be budget in budget line technical support in leading budget form. So if consortium doesn't isn't regulated with partnership agreement between two partners, one of the company or institution which is in the project as partner can contribute in the project with consultancy services or laboratory services or etc. in a leading partner budget form.
Okay. It is, they want to, the same person, Adriana Tasevska, wants to clarify the intellectual property is of the professor in Banja Luka, and he wants that intellectual property to stay his and not on the faculty where he works. She is asking if this is going to bring some additional points in the regional cooperation.
I think that that question it's best to be asked through the mail, so our legal department should think about it.
To think and respond. Otherwise, the intellectual property is regulated within the agreement, which is signed between the company itself that will implement the project and will be the beneficiary, and the one who is the innovator. So this should be regulated in this project, so that the rights to implement this intellectual property are always to the beneficiary which uses funds from FITER. Of course, if there is a participation from a company from the region, or it is an organization, it is in consortia, or so on, it will add additional points to this application, just to add to what is saying. Otherwise, to be clear, completely clear on this, is the best to send this question to be seen by our legal department. Next question is, the company who is already funded by FITER on a different call, is it eligible to apply on this call?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They have no obstacles to apply in this call also.
Okay.
There is no any legal obstacles.
Yeah. When applying to this call, the only thing that might be obstacle might be the amount of total funding from the government, because of the minimis rules which are related to it. So if in the last 3 years the company has over certain amount of 200 euros already funded by
200,000.
200,000 already funded, then it is something that has to be reconsidered. It should not exceed this amount of funding. About the applications that already sent application, of course, you will have to resend it, but yes, so the answer is yes. It's good that you resend your application, because this is still a new call. However, we will see that you don't necessarily submit all documents, take all documents that are accompanying documents, right, to resubmit them again. Maybe we will take in consideration the previously said ones. Otherwise, as an application, you will have to apply again. Yes, the question again is it the same form for application? Basically, it is the same, but we recommend that you go through the call once again to see that maybe you have something additional to add or improve or update your application in order to be better or more appropriate. Just this opportunity is given to you, as well as the opportunity to have a mentorship program, which will follow the next week. So for now, we don't have any other questions. And having this in mind, maybe we can continue with the block, and the time is also running as well. I suggest that we continue with the block of our motivational speakers, which are from startup companies, but also SMEs, international and domestic, which have successful projects specifically in this area of climate change. They have their own time here to tell us more about it. And here I would like to call Mr. Yuval Gilad, PhD, co-founder, CEO at FreeZem. After him, we will have Michael Mateski, and after that, Mr. Mende Veleski, actually a representative of Technobenova, a company that is a FITERA beneficiary, which which was awarded at our first O2 challenge. But first, let's hear Mr. Yuval Gilad. Can you please join us?
Yeah, hi. Do you hear me? Okay.
Please tell us about your business and how is it to be, how did you start it, how did you succeed, so that we give a little motivation to our potential applicants.
Sure, I'll also share, I'll start with a few words and then I'll share my screen and show you a presentation about our company. But in a nutshell, what we are doing is we're a company called FreeZem. We're developing novel technologies for using black soldier fly, which I will show in a minute, to recycle waste and to turn it into high valuable protein for animal feed. We started the company as a spin-off from the Weizmann Institute, which is one of the leading universities in Israel, where me and my two partners established the company and started this journey. And now we're already active for about 2 years. We have our own R&D facility when we grow our flies and develop our technologies. We're very much interested in collaborations, and we have partners all over the world. So we're very open to collaborations, to thinking of new technologies and new things that can be done with our product. So I will start showing you the presentation, and of course, everybody that is interested afterwards can reach me directly, and we can start a conversation and how we can apply our technology or new technologies in Macedonia. So just a second, let's see if I can share the screen. Okay, you see it, right? You see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're FreeZem. We're making insect farming simple, steady, and scalable by using our technologies for breeding of black soldier fly. And this is the insect you can see on the left. This is a fly. It's called a black soldier fly. It's a very unique insect due to one major properties of his, and that's the ability to turn waste into high valuable protein. And this is being done by its larvae, the maggots that you can see on the right side, that has the ability to digest almost any kind of organic waste, and they can be used as a high quality protein source for animal feed. So you take care of waste on one side and you create feed on the other side, and that can be done in many different ways. This is why this organism is actually marked by many as the ultimate recycling machine made by nature, and as the next farm animal which will be domesticated by humans. So just to show you an example of the capability of this fly, you can see here the maggots eating a pizza tray, and this is a very fast film of about 2 hours of 10,000 larvae just consuming and degrading the entire pizza tray. And this is only to emphasize the power of this insect and its ability to degrade organic waste. And the problem of waste, I guess most of you know it, that almost third of the world food is being wasted. And we need to rethink how we use our resources, because the population is growing, and there is a growing demand for protein source and for food in general. So this waste of food cannot continue. And there is a pyramid of what we can do with waste and how we can treat it. So the best way, of course, will be to reduce it in the source, just consume less or create less waste. After that, what can be directly converted into human consumption is the best way. And the next level is to take it to animal feed. And from that on, there are other solutions such as composting, anaerobic digestions, and so on. Insects take the slice or the position between these steps where they can convert low-level waste source that will usually go for composting or anaerobic digestion and just turn it back into high valuable protein that can go directly to feed or also to food. So we already know that insects are an excellent source of protein for animal feed. This is already proven, and it's not proven by us, it's proven by many that came before us. There are many companies in this field. Insects are a sustainable source of protein. They're healthy for the farm animals, regulatory approved for a variety of applications such as aquaculture, and next year more farming areas are going to be regulatory approved for that in Europe. They're not, this specific insect is not considered a pest. They do not eat the grown insect. The grown fly does not eat, so it does not transfer disease to humans. It has high nutritional values, and the most important thing, it can help turn waste into high valuable protein. So the challenges are not to prove the importance of insect, but to make it an industry, to turn this proof of concept and to turn this knowledge into a large industry that produce insect proteins in large quantities and at an available price that will help feed companies to replace existing components with insect proteins. They need to scale up and to make the process more stable. And this is where we come into the picture. Just a bit about the market. The market, of course, of animal feed is huge, over $400 billion per year. The first addressable market is the replacement of fish meal, which is actually fish powder, which is produced by massive fishing from the ocean and is very damaging for the environment. And insects are already proven to be able to replace fish meal in aquaculture. And from that on, they can grow to other categories. So how does it work today? Each factory today has to produce the entire life cycle in-house, which makes the process very inefficient and costly. First, almost 40% of the area of the factory has to be dedicated to breeding of the adult fly, which is a complete different process from the protein production process, just to generate the eggs. The eggs, the larvae, which are being hatched from these eggs, are starting their life at a very small stage, but they grow very fast, and they're being fed in the rearing section and then being processed into protein and lipids, which are being incorporated in the feed compounds. Using our technology, we're able for the first time to decouple the eggs production, the reproduction, from the protein production, from the rearing and processing, which makes the process much more simple and scalable. It will help producers to increase their production capacity, to lower their operational expenses, and most importantly, to lower barriers to entry to new players in the market, which don't know how to deal with the breeding of the fly and generation of the eggs. Now they can collaborate with us and receive as much as neonates or flies or eggs that they want for their production. Just to understand why it makes more sense to send the eggs, because they're very small and they have a very interesting properties of growing almost by 8,000 times in 2 weeks. This is the equivalent of a baby being grown to the size of 3 elephants in 2 weeks. It's a huge growth rate, and this is why it makes a lot of sense to send small packages of eggs to the waste concentrations and do the feeding over there. So what's our innovation? The entire process is not new and being developed by many companies around the world. We're focusing on being able to produce the eggs at large quantities and be able to create a shelf life by pausing the life cycle at two major steps of the life cycle. First is the eggs. We're developing a technology for cryopreservation, long-term freezing of the eggs. This way we can have a storage and ship the ready-to-use eggs to factories worldwide. And the other step is to pause the neonates, the larvae which just hatch from the eggs, which are very small. We have a technology that enables to pause this stage for about 2 weeks before they start their fast growth. And by that, you can create storage for at least 2 weeks per factory. So what is so unique about freezing insects? People know how to freeze various organisms, from bacteria to human embryos. There are many people that were born from frozen embryos. But insect has a problem. In order to freeze and defrost a viable tissue, you have to insert materials that are called cryoprotectants, like antifreeze materials. And the insect egg, which is the insect embryo, is surrounded by a shell that prevents this penetration of materials which are important for the viable cryopreservation. And we're solving this issue by adding another step to the cryopreservation process of peeling. The second thing of suspended innovation, suspended animation, we're generating packages of ready-to-use small neonates that can be delivered to factories worldwide. And what you have to do then is just take out the cap and put the neonates on the waste, whatever waste you want to use it for. I'll talk about the applications later, and make them grow and use it for direct feeding for animals or for processing for protein and so on. And this is something, this technology is already in very close to commercial stages. So our vision is to become the seed company, the equivalent to seed company in agriculture, in the evolving industry of insect farming. We will produce ready-to-use insect eggs and neonates to insect factories, and by that enable them to grow and make their process more efficient. We call this process larvae as a service. So what are possible collaborations that we can do in Macedonia? For example, by providing these batches of ready-to-use neonates, we can reach very fast to operating pilots in your country, which are very relevant to the scenarios that entrepreneurs in your region are looking for. One could be waste management, taking care of organic waste or agricultural waste on site using our suspended neonates. Another example can be production of larvae for the pet food industry, and of course for the animal feed industry. It can be directly consumed, like for example, producing the larvae and feeding chickens with them, or processing them into protein, which go into feed compounds. And of course, as I said, we're very open to these kind of collaborations and pilots, so the O2 call can be very relevant for that. So we have a growing team of almost 8 full-time employees. We have many collaborations around Europe and around the world. We won several prizes and grants from the European Union, and we keep expanding all the time. So this is just one example of a larvae which originated from our colony as eggs and neonates, and being grown at the site at an agricultural farm. You can see on the left that it's been directly fed to laying chickens, and this is a pilot that is ongoing. The vision is to create a very sustainable feed source for chicken, which relies on their natural feed, which is more insects than compared to what they eat now, which is corn and soy. The chickens love it. The eggs quality is higher. And of course, these kind of pilots are very important for us to prove the benefits of our technology, but there are also benefits for the end user, which gets a very simple process that's taking the ready-to-use neonates, growing them on their own substrate, on their own local waste, and turning them into viable protein. So that's it. That was my presentation. I will be happy to take questions if anybody wants to ask anything.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you very much. This was very interesting, very informative in a very brief time. I suggest that we continue now with Michael Matevsky, just to take off the presentation, to see us all together here, and continue with Michael, and then to third of our motivational speakers, and then we have a block of questions and answers for our presenters. Of course, for all of you that want to ask questions about the call, just about the call itself, about the challenge, let me remind you, please send your questions to the chat, and I will read them at the end so that they will be all responded. Michael, hello. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Hello from Novi Sad. I'm calling you from Novi Sad in Serbia, where I'm usually based mainly, but also in Skopje in Macedonia as well. I'm really glad to see Rena after a decade or so. We used to be colleagues in the Macedonian Business Resource Center, so I was surprised, to see you today.
Me too. Hello.
Great.
Yes.
And special greetings to our friends from Israel. Yair, who is our already friend visiting, and our guest on our summit in Macedonia 2025. So today I'm here in front of, I will speak as a CEO and co-founder of Green Tech in Macedonia and in Serbia, but also I will just have a brief address as one of the board members of Macedonia 2025. So my business is plastic recycling, part of the wider waste management in the system, which is definitely one of the key contributors to climate positive or negative change. We are a company that started, so we are already a matured company. The business is like 18 years already. We became, in the meantime, one of the leading plastic recyclers in Europe as a group, with factories mainly located in Romania, then Serbia, Macedonia, Lithuania, and Slovakia. But I would like to focus more on the beginning. I think that will be the experience to share with all those, I hope, great startup ideas. We started in 2002, and just for you to have in mind, nobody had a clue about plastic recycling at that time in our countries, in the region. We were already coming from the plastic packaging. So for us, it was kind of, we were familiar with the material, but we were not familiar so much with the technology. So the first 2 years, especially me and my core team, we spent like the time trying to get it started from the zero ground first. So the first year, it was like we were educating everybody. We are going on a meeting with, for example, a manager of a waste management company. You have to take first like a half an hour to present them what means recycling, why they should do it, what is the benefit eventually, and then you go to the commercial part of that. So it was a real struggle, and like in every startup, what we did is this kind of business, when it's new, when you're a pioneer, you don't have a turnkey solution for everybody. So every single municipality, every single company was a story of its own. So you have to work very closely with these people. So you have to make them partners. That was our approach. Your client is your partner. If you don't have the proper feedback, you will fail. So whenever we did something, and that's my advice, try with small. try with small, test it. If you fail with small. And this is how we did. So we started first in Romania, then we kind of multiply some of the experiences in Serbia, and then eventually in Macedonia, and then latest in Slovakia and Lithuania. So if it was easy, it was not. Believe me, it was, especially those first 5, I would say, years, it was really difficult, it was really challenging. But as I said, if you have the proper team, if you work hard, my advice is always, when you're a startup, the key members, the core team, make them partners in the business. That's how you can grow together, all of you, you know? So that's like advice for the team, most of the team, to feel the business like belongs to them. You know, that was the strategy that we also had. Then you modify all the time, you know, in a startup, in a new industry, you have to modify. You don't give up, you modify, eventually you will find the solution. So later on, after 5 years, we became like the major recycling company in the region. Then we jumped to the next step. Sorry, probably I pressed some button. So, just to repeat, the first 5 years were really a struggle, but then eventually we succeeded to become the leading company in the region, and we jumped then in the next phase, which was horizontal integration, vertical integration, meaning we were collecting from the source, and then we were also producing new products from 100% recycled content, like fibers, bottle-to-bottle technology, strapping, film, etc. And today the Green Group is in Central Eastern Europe, we are #1 plastic recycler and among the top 5 in Europe, definitely. So as an advice for the startups, I would say be persistent, have clear objectives, what you want to achieve, never give up. I mean, business is always a cycle. Tough times will come, you cannot quit. Now, advice to my fellow Macedonians, think of the region. Don't go in a business until you have also the regional approach. All our markets in this Balkan area are too small for any, let's say, medium or relatively bigger size of a business. So think from the beginning how you can multiply your approach and your strategy for the whole region. Luckily for us, we are sharing very similar consumer behavior, very similar lifestyle, etc. So usually that's the way to do it. Start in Macedonia, then spread it in the region, and then you can go globally. Think out of the box all the time. And I think that that is practically the only way we, as a small country, as a small economy, we can be competitive. In that regard, I really appreciate the experience that we are sharing with our Israeli friends, with their innovation approach, with the education. And I want to turn now to the, let's say, the mission that we have as an organization. This is the way how we can create also leaders, because if we want to build a strong nation, which is also the mission of Macedonia 2025, you can do it like this, you know, invest in education, invest in startups, help them. This is a great example, and I really appreciate that the Fund for Innovation is helping, and this should be like a tradition. And with startups, we can compete anybody, because otherwise, as a small economy with classical industry, we cannot be too competitive. Innovations are something that we need to do. And to wrap it up at the end, I would say that when you're in this environmental or climate positive change industries, you have additional satisfaction. So besides the business, besides the profit that you will generate, all the struggles, successes, failures, etc., there is this special satisfaction that you're contributing to the greater good, especially greater, so to a cleaner environment, healthier people from any perspective. And the current crisis is just showing us, you know, what we're doing now. Because at the moment, as an industry, we are facing the biggest crisis like in the past 30 years. Very low crude oil price. There is no demand due to the COVID. But okay, we are now trying to find new models. You know, you cannot just stay idle. So don't give up, be positive. And the good part for all of you is that you will have also experienced mentors. I will be one of them. So I'm really looking forward to have this exchange of experience. So thank you all, and of course I'm expecting questions to answer. Thank you. Speakerphone.
Again, I'm here again. That was very inspiring. Thank you very much, especially this connection with climate change and COVID and all of this that is happening as we are seeing more and more the opportunity to go back into the nature, preserve it, and give our children the best we can. It's really plus motivation for all of us. Now we will move to Technoben Nova, which is a company that was awarded on our first O2 challenge. This company works in the metal industry. They will tell you specifically what they did in frames of our first challenge, which was dedicated to fighting pollution and providing for clean air, but it also had the connection points to the climate change, and that's why they are here today. Welcome. Please tell us a bit about your project.
Hello everyone, I am Mende Veleski, one of the owners of the Technoben Nova. This is a company that produces products connected with industrial systems for heating and processes. In the last years, we have targeted that we need to focus in the protection of the environment. To achieve this, we work on new project on some change in the construction of the existing products so we can reduce the pollution. Now my colleague will present you your project that we had for the first call of the Fund of Innovation O2 Challenge.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. I would like to introduce myself. First, I'm Nikola Veleski, employed in Technoben Nova as a mechanical engineer, and I worked in the project that we made for O2 Challenge. Now I will make a share screen and show you the presentation. The name of our project was construction for purification exhaust gases, and it was a compact scrubber. Who is Technoben? Technoben is a company that is established in 2006, and since then it's working without any stops. Technoben is a company that produces industrial steam, hot water boilers, heat exchangers, heating boilers, households, tanks for fuels, and etc. In the last period, the company has started working on systems for cleaning the exhaust gases from industrial boilers. Here we'll tell you why we started to work on that kind of project. First of all, current situation with the pollution of the air and the requirements for finding solution for reduction and intensity of pollution is the main reason for development of the project, for the reduction of the harmful effects of the exhaust gases. Encouraged from the Innovation Fund and their called O2 Challenge, in collaboration with one professor, Svetlana Triesker from Faculty of Technical Science in Bitola, we came up to innovation solution for purification of the exhaust gases, which means catching the PM particulates. Here is our solution, new Venturi device with integrated heat exchangers, one part. Here we have the Venturi part where the cleaning of the gases is made, and here we have integrated plate heat exchanger. What was our goal? Our goal was at first to reduce the emission of PM10 particulates, but also in PM2.5 particulates and other gases. What is the construction? The construction of the system is made from two parts: plate heat exchanger and venturi device. Here is how it's installed, and I will show you how it functions. The exhaust gases from the boilers come to the our product or venturi scrubber apparate, and dirty gases has a lot of heat in them, and they go through the heat exchanger and give the energy. After that, they continue to the venturi part where the cleaning is made, and they go to the drainer of the water. After that, to the channels and the ventilators, the cleaned and cooled gases, because the cleaning is made with water, are back to the cold system. And we use in the heat exchanger, we use the energy from the dirty gases, and we are heating the cleaned gases. So the cleaned gases are again heated, and they go through the chimney as heated gases. So we don't have heavy gases, and they can go higher in the atmosphere. We have this kind of system installed in one company that produces cheese, and it is installed in the boiler of 500 kilowatts. In that installation, we have made measuring before the system and after the system, and here are the results from our measurings. As you can see, the first measurings are before the cleaning system, and you can see that the CO ppm is very high. Also, the other parameters are high, and the PM particulars, which was our main reason to catch them, were about 213. After the installation filter, we made another measuring, and on the results can be seen that the CO ppm is rapidly lowered and is about 683. And the main reason that we made this project, the PM is 35 milligrams per meter cubic. So from this, we are sure that we made a good project, and our main reason is to save the environment, and we are in a good way to make this. Also, we are working now in other projects for construction, for new constructions of the boilers for heat, for hot water boilers and steam boilers, so we can reduce the azote NOx on the fuels, and that also for fuels, for liquid fuels. And we are in a phase that we are making new construction and testing the new construction, and we will hope that we will have a good results. And for that, all this is made because we were encouraged from the point of innovation. We are very grateful to the point of innovation for their encouragement and their calls. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you very much. This was a concrete example of how was project created and what were the results of this project. Now, I would like to ask, I don't have here questions on from participants on chat anymore, but if there are some, please, you're free to ask anything. Otherwise, just to repeat again some basic things, that the call is ending on 20th of July, sorry. So there is enough time to apply. And of course, in the following period, the mentoring sessions are coming for all of those of you that are interested to hear more about how to improve your project, what is needed to have a successful project in this area. You will have international and domestic mentors provided by our partners from Israel and Macedonia 2025. In order to apply, you just need to go on our website and download documents, and then you will be given a message with instructions on how to apply. Otherwise, you can do it directly on our website as well, in the parts where it says apply for the mentoring program. So if there are no more questions, and I don't see any more coming on the chat, I would like to thank you all for participating, and looking forward to our future communication with some of you as mentors in the following period. And for all of you that are here, please, I'm encouraging you to apply and to take part of this challenge.
Thank you, Irena.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.